After all that, Penn State showed Boise State there's levels to this, and we tried to warn y'all about it, talked about it, got all the noise talking for Boise State fans. Now, hey, get in here. It's your turn. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show or your 1000th and you have not subscribed, I got to ask you to do that. 62% of the people that watch this show are not subscribed. I don't know why that is. Most of those folks are returning viewers. So subscribe, ring the bell, like this video, become one of the 125,000 people that populate this community, and leave me a comment below. Do you think Boise State was ready to get beat to hell by Penn State? Or did you think, hey, this is how it's going to go? I, for one, have been telling you, this was not going to be pretty, and it was not going to be close. It was neither. It was neither. It's not just that Nick Singleton and Kaytron Allen were absolutely gashing that Boise State defense. Just pow, pow. Got to see that 10-8-9 speed from Nick Singleton. Both Kaytron Allen and Nick Singleton have had 8 100-yard rushing games. Both have over 800 yards on the ground. The tandem tailback is working for them. They had the Mackey Award winner out there in Tyler Warren, but they didn't really need that dude to do much. He had 6 catches for 63 yards, 2 TDs, and I got Kaytron Allen basically doing what we thought Ashton Jeanty was going to do, which is get to the second level and make something happen. Nick Singleton doing what we thought Ashton Jeanty was going to do. Get to the second level and make something happen. And with all this going on, needed 132 yards to break Barry Sanders' single-season rushing record. We get this from Ashton Jeanty. I think, I got to tell you, I wrote a piece about Ashton Jeanty and Penn State leading into this at foxsports.com. And after telling you that, hey, going into this game, he's got 2,497 rush yards. There have only been 3 guys that have rushed for 2,500 yards in a season. One of those is Barry Sanders. One of those is Melvin Gordon. One of those is Kevin Smith, right? So now there are 4 guys that have rushed for 2,500 or more yards in the history of college football in a single season. 155 years, not bad. The thing that I wanted to stress is that Barry Sanders got that record in 11 friggin' games. We started playing 12 regular season games in 2006. So both Melvin Gordon and Kevin Smith had the benefit of that extra game. Ashton Jeanty had 2 extra games on top of that, with the Mountain West Championship, and then getting the bye to the Fiesta Bowl to host the winner of Penn State Southern Methodist. But it went like we thought it was going to go, which is why I think we're going to do away with the highest-ranked conference champions getting an automatic bye into the quarterfinals, because you're getting stuff like this. And this ain't going down no more. Nobody believes in their right mind Boise State was the number 3 seed. It's not there. Ohio State, Penn State, maybe. Texas, right? No. Now we got Penn State, who got to beat up on what was a group of 5 team last year in Southern Methodist, and what is a group of 5 team this year in Boise State. And I've been trying to tell y'all, Boise State ain't that good. But you know what? They had an opportunity, just like Ashton Jeanty had an opportunity to show us all up, prove us all wrong. Ashton Jeanty standing up there at the Heisman ceremony, looking at Travis Hunter, talking about, I should have won the Heisman. But kudos to Travis Hunter. Yeah, dog. You want to go and tell everybody what you're going to do and what you're going to be about? You need to do it on a football field against a team like Penn State. And you couldn't do much of anything against that front 7. Tom Allen had his dudes dialed in. He said, hey, at the front end, we're loading the box. You're going to see 8. If you could beat us man-to-man with Maddox Madsen and Camper on the outside, cool. We're going to let you have that. We're going to let Matt Lauder eat us alive if that's what you can do. But we think you're going to keep trying to hand the ball to 2, and we're ready for that. Abdul Carter getting after him, right? We got to see what that pass rush was like. And then when you got him into situations where they got to throw the football down the field, then you get to see Tony DeLuca, Tony Rojas, those dudes go to work, go eating up on Maddox Madsen. And Boise State is once again learning this is how it goes. This is how it goes. Cincinnati, it went like that for them. Southern Methodist, it went like that for them. The argument about there not being 12 good in teams to play for a college football national championship, I'm not with that, right? It's not that. It's about, hey, let's have a tournament that is going to give teams like Boise State the same opportunity to get their asses kicked. That's all. I want that. If you are good enough to win your conference championship, I think you deserve an opportunity to get stomped out by Penn State in front of your peoples, in front of your mama, in front of everybody on national television. Spencer Danielson changed up his whole tune by the time we got to the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? It was no more talking about what was not on the football field. There was only what was on the football field. And talking about we got to play for each other. Who doesn't play for each other? At this level, when you get this place, you're playing past Christmas. It's New Year's Eve. You got to be playing for each other. I didn't want to hear none of that. I didn't want to hear none of that. None of it. And toward the end here, I was asking myself, are they really going to let Ashton Jeanty try to go win this rushing title? Because that was all that was left. But no, you're going to try to win the football game, which means you got to drop back and pass. So we're staring at going into the fourth quarter, is the man going to get there? And I had to give up the ghost on it, man. I had to really ask the question, what is he actually chasing? Like, I thought that Bob Wischusen did a good job because I've been trying to tell everybody. We started counting bowl statistics in 2002 towards career totals and towards totals for teams. Why? Very simple. By the time we got to 2002, the number of bowl games we played was a gaudy 28. It's like 31 now. We're 44. It became less about it being an exhibition, which is what it was up until about the Bowl Alliance, right? About the late 90s when we get the BCS. And it became a way for us to try to crown a real national champion. And we used those bowl games to tell us what the rankings should be or ought to be, right? So as we're talking about these things, I'm asking myself, dead ass, who is not going to put an asterisk next to this if he got this rushing title, right? That was what I was asking. Because the reason that we got the bowl statistics was, A, we wanted to let people know we understand now, NCAA being that entity, that these games have taken on a different significance. They're important now in a way that they weren't when they were exhibition games, because the exhibition games by definition are not important. So you got that. And then you have, we're not going to retroactively include bowl game statistics before 2002. There hasn't been a public good reason for this, except the one that I could probably give you, which is if dudes knew that they were playing for their stats in, say, the Holiday Bowl in 1988, maybe Barry Sanders doesn't go for 222. Maybe he goes for 400. You know, like it's like that. Maybe guys turn up. Maybe they don't. I think that we should retroactively include those bowl statistics because we have the manpower and we have the interest to just go do the math per team. And if you don't do the math for your team, then we don't include your statistics. That means you ain't got to put it on one person. And I guarantee you, there is an SID at every single institution that plays college football that can't wait to include their bowl statistics in their single season records. But there are also going to be these folks going, wait, that was my record, not no more. Because I didn't go hard in the bowl game. Yeah, that's how things work. Even Barry Sanders was ready to do what the rest of us were not, which is acknowledge Ashton Jeanty as the new crown, the new king of the single season rushing total record. And I thought, for him, that's a class act, dog. That's a class act. Barry Sanders has been that for a very long time. I'm just not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow it. I will acknowledge what we had seen. I would not acknowledge a rushing record that was broken in 14 games when Barry got 11. I know what it sounds like because I'm one of them people talking about get off my lawn at this point. But I got to tell y'all, there's not one 300-yard rushing performance out of Ashton Jeanty. And Barry Sanders had 4. He's playing a different schedule that is much easier than the one that Sanders faced in 1988 playing in the Big 8. Okay? You got Nebraska on your schedule. You got Oklahoma on your schedule of that era? Of that era? Do you? Tell the truth, shame the devil. You know what time it is. And for you to finish runner-up in the Heisman, I thought that was enough, dog. A lot of people are going to be telling you, even now, Ashton Jeanty ought to be the first running back off the board. Maybe that's true. But you know what they're not going to be? National champions. That is what this was about for me. Can you lead this team to a national championship? Because that's the only way you get to show all of us up. And in the way, by the way, if he had played for a national championship, the rushing record probably goes to something around 3,300, 3,400 yards, which makes it damn impossible to run down. Because if we include the 222 that Barry Sanders had, we're looking at a 3,000-yard rusher in 12 games. Think about that for a second. My gosh. Meanwhile, Penn State is doing what we expect Penn State to do. Beat teams that are ranked below number 5. Okay? If you got a 6 next to your name or lower, Penn State can go get you. I get that it ain't the best record against top 10, top 15 opponents, but it's better than the one they got against top 5 opponents. So going into tomorrow's game, I assume they're going to want to see Notre Dame. They're going to want to see Notre Dame because Notre Dame feels like a gettable team to them in a way they say Georgia does not, even with Georgia running Gunnar Stockton at quarterback. Georgia and Notre Dame got to feel real good about what they're going to do because you know what Penn State's going to do. You know that Drew Aller can't be trusted to go win you a football game going 13 of 25 for 171 with 3 TDs and 4 sacks. That's just not going to get it done. If you can stop Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, you can win the football game. Tom Allen's defense is going to be money. But my goodness, dude. Penn State has an opportunity in front of them to shut us up, to shut you up, to get after it, to do what they have not done in over 30 years, win a friggin' national championship. Georgia did it. First time in 40 years, doubled it up. I dare James Franklin and Penn State to do better.